It might explain something about Lou's relentless search for the paranormal. Now a father of 3, Lou's someone who brings his work home with him. It means the Gentilly residence isn't immune to things going bump in the night. His wife, of 16 years, Antoinette, believes ghosts follow Lou back to the house.
So what have you experienced in this home?
Growling when we didn't have no pets at the time. Growling by my feet. One time I went to bed, I was held down in my bed with nobody there. I couldn't get up, I was screaming, nobody heard me. So that's the experience I've had.
And what about your girls? Do you talk about it?
I don't like them to hear anything about it because they get scared. So I try to keep them away from it.
Today, Lou wants to show me his prized paranormal photo collection, where he believes spirits have actually revealed themselves on camera. Okay. These snapshots of the dead collected over the last 20 years of ghost hunting represent for Lou the compelling physical evidence that ghosts exist.
Oh, these are good.
Okay.
You can be Joey, I'll be Chandler.
There you go. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, a slideshow that I present to major colleges, universities, conventions, things of that nature throughout the country. All right, here's a case that I did in Connecticut. We got called in because there was this ungodly banging and knocking that was coming from downstairs in the basement every single night. So this, as you can see here, this is called a night hag, okay? A night hag is usually classified as something along the lines of a poltergeist. You have the mouth here, the Joker mouth. You have some teeth, things like that, and you have an eye, and things like that.
Lou believes that some of these photographs capture naturally occurring electromagnetic forces which spirits manipulate to show themselves on camera.
What we're looking for the most part, is when we start to get figures. When we start to get figures, this is what we call it as a ghost. That's when it starts to get bizarre. What is it? This is my favorite photograph, okay, which basically I say shows the existence of life after death, okay?
Wow.
Is it paranormal? I say damn right it is. And if you could, Darren, if you could stand up and take a look at that as close as you can. Okay. Do you see it yet?
No, I'm struggling to see a face there. Is it face on, as it were? It's not.
It's a very human face. It's a man's face, looking to the right down. There's the forehead. There's the eye socket, the nose, the lips, the chin with the clef in it. Right there.
Oh, yes, a profile. Sorry, I was looking for a straight on.
No, that's fine.
Yes. As I'm looking at it, all that seems to separate something that's taken to be genuinely paranormal from just might be is how much of a shape that it makes. And of course that's tricky, isn't it? Because there's in the middle there's an ambiguous area because, as you know, we're all wired to find faces and shapes and things because that's how we are. So
Lou sees this photo as absolute proof of the existence of ghosts. But is there an alternative explanation to Lou's key photo? Rather than being a ghost, our minds could be making shapes out of the mist. I can see some stairs, a parrot, a slug, and another face. But Lou isn't seeing what I'm seeing.
It's a masterpiece of spiritual photography as far as I'm concerned, because when you look at it and you see the detail in it, I don't think nature could provide that kind of detail. I mean, yeah, I wish everybody in the world could believe the things that I've seen, you know what I mean, and experienced. And it's hard knowing that, and walking around with that information, and knowing that, yeah, there'll still be people out there that won't believe you because they think it's just a story.
Lou certainly believes his photographs represent clear evidence of the existence of ghosts. But from my point of view, it's only if you already believe in ghosts that the evidence makes sense.
So in Lou's world, I think, and the world of the believers, there seem to be two options they talk about. Either somebody's just playing tricks and they're charlatans, or it's all real. And what they don't seem to really embrace is this huge middle area of people fooling themselves, which I think is quite revealing that they don't sort of embrace that at all.
Has Lou convinced himself about his strongest piece of evidence? Is there another explanation to the man writhing on the bed other than the belief he's possessed by demons? I'm seeing someone who may be able to offer a radically different point of view. His name is Professor Michael Sperling.
I'm an epilepsy specialist, a neurologist who specializes in treating people with epilepsy, and I work at Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia. I have no personal experience with exorcisms. I'm a scientist and therefore skeptical.
Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
This is the priest.
I play Professor Sperling the footage of the man undergoing the exorcism.
What I deal with is real, not...
What you showed me is a textbook example of a pseudo-seizure or psychogenic seizure.
Okay.
Typically, individuals who have these have some underlying stress problem, emotional difficulty, and one might view it psychologically almost as an escape avoidance type of behavior. The real world is too stressful, and the patient withdraws and pulls into a separate world.
Now you have some footage of some other seizures which are just as...
I could show you a psychogenic seizure, or pseudo-seizure as it's called, virtually identical to that. So this is a video of a patient being monitored for seizures. You can see the prominent arching of the back, the shaking of the body, the shaking of the limbs. Classic finding of a psychogenic seizure, or as it's known as pseudo-seizure.
It's sort of exactly what we've just seen, but without the exorcist.
Right.
Watching those movements and those arching of the back, you can imagine how, if you were really believing in what was going on from a spiritual point of view, how you could mistake it for a momentary levitation.
Absolutely, and the violence of the movements is such that it's hard to believe for the uninitiated that something from outside might not be producing something like this.
In the world of science, this woman is having a non-epileptic, stress-related fit. On the other hand, Lou believes this is a man taken over by a demon.
What you saw was the classic signs of going under. People can say that it might have been some kind of a medical phenomena or whatever it may have been. The guy had been checked out medically. He had no seizures. He had no allergic reactions to medicine. The guy was very healthy. You know, he demonstrated the classic signs of going under.
The first time I saw that possession footage, the exorcism of sorts, the emergency exorcism, that footage was so disturbing, horrifying. It was like something from a modern horror film. But when you took it out of the context of the exorcism, it wasn't frightening or creepy. It was just somebody having this episode.
For me, it's becoming clear that Lou's evidence for the existence of ghosts can have other explanations.
Is the entity inside of this house a human spirit?
Could Lou's recorded voices of the dead be something else? EVPs are the cornerstone of Lou's case that ghosts exist, and he wants to convince me of their validity. Lou's playing me his greatest EVP hits, selected from the thousands he's captured over the years. But I'm having trouble even understanding them.
Well, this is an example of, you know, the type of EVPs that you can get.
Are you a human spirit? Have you ever lived?
Any idea what the third one is?
No.
Okay. And this one here, it clearly, you can hear it say no.
Are you a human spirit? Have you ever lived?
Yes, asshole.